What is up, guys? Fear Tactics here, and today I'll be bringing you this ridiculously powerful build for the wizard. I finally got a Wand of Woe and I finally got a Royal Ring, so I can finally bring you this T10 farming guide for you. Now this build is a flash fire build. This build is retardedly overpowered and clears T10 super freaking fast. It literally absolutely destroys everything you come in touch with. This build requires a couple of key items in order to make it work, such as the Wand of Woe, In-goem, and the Royal Ring. Now, this gear requirements and Paragon requirements aren't really that huge. In this video, I'm only Paragon 597, so there you go. Like, just having that doesn't really mean you need much. There's a lot of people out there that tend to like way higher than I am. I don't even play that much, and I'm only 597. The thing that makes the whole build work, though, is In-goem. Now, what is In-goem? In-goem is a one-hand sword that reduces your cooldowns by 10 seconds for 15 seconds whenever you kill an elite pack. It's pretty retarded, which makes you basically be able to spam Explosive Blast, because Explosive Blast only has like a 6-second cooldown, so it instantly refreshes it as you hit the button. Normally you run out of arcane power, but you don't because of Diamond Skin, the Prism Rune, which we will be using in this build. As long as you keep that up, you can spam Explosive Blast indefinitely because you never run out of arcane power. Now, for this build, you use the 6-piece Talrashas and the 4-piece Firebirds. Now, you may ask, why the 4-piece Firebirds? Well, because you deal so much damage that it procs the 3000% damage burn phase instantly because you're doing so much damage. So even if you don't kill a mob, like a monster, as soon as you come in contact with it, it'll just burn to death, so you can just run around and do whatever you want. Now, how do you get the 4 elemental buffs to proc while only using 2 damage abilities? Well, we're actually using 4, where you get the fire from Explosive Blast, the frost from the Frost Nova, lightning from Electrocute, and the arcane from the Teleport. And we'll go over why we're using those in the ability part section of this video. Now, with the new patch, you don't have to cast each elemental spell more than once. Well, technically you do, but you don't. All you have to do is catch each elemental spell once, and then you only need to keep refreshing to keep the buff. You only need to cast 2 spells. So, cast all 4 elements, then you only need to cast Prism or Diamond Skin and Electrocute to keep all 4 elements up. But because we're using Focus and Restraint in this build, you do have to use Electrocute every 4 to 5 seconds to keep the Focus and Restraint buffs up. There's other rings you could also use, but because my Paragon level is so low, I'm going with Focus and Restraint. But we'll go over the other rings and the gear part of the video. But other than that, the gameplay is pretty simple. You just run around, smashing your buttons, rolling your face on the keyboard, playing with your feet. I don't care. Do what you want. It's going to kill anything. The first time I played this build, I was actually laughing my ass off because I was just running around, had no idea how to play the build, and I was just spamming buttons, everything was dying. I was having a good time. This build is probably one of the most fun builds I've ever played. It was even better. It's even more fun than how Whirlwind Bar was when Shard of Hate was ridiculously overpowered. But, like I said, you just run towards monsters, they just die on Torment X. If something doesn't die, it just burns anyway because you have 4-piece Firebirds, so what's up? Well, that's the gameplay, so now we'll go on to the gear and abilities. Alright, now let's go over the gear for this build. Now, like I mentioned, the Wand of Woe, this build will not work without this weapon. You could use something else, and then instead of Explosive Blast, use like Disintegrate or something, but it just doesn't work as well. Wand of Woe, it's ridiculously overpowered because you can get 100% damage, additive Explosive Blast damage, so you double your damage, and then because the Explosive Blast triggers 3 additional times, it triples it. So it's going like, because it's going boom, 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 and you can just spam it. It's retarded. This is pretty much what you want on it: percent damage, intelligence, CDR, Explosive Blast, and then a socket. Obviously ancient. But yeah, you really need a Wand of Woe for this build. Boots, Firebirds, boots, Talrasha pants, Firebirds, source. Now, it's obviously we're not using familiar damage here, but My gear is shit for this build, like I mentioned before. My gear is absolutely garbage. But I'm going through TX like it's nothing. I'm just walking through mobs and it's blowing up. Like, I just finished this set today and I made this video. As soon as I got the Royal Ring, I did a few riffs, started making the video. Now, instead of familiar damage, you can go with CDR or Arcane Crit or Explosive Blast damage, whatever, it all works. I'd probably go with CDR though. That is your main stat in this build, is CDR. Your minimum CDR you want for this build is 50%. It pretty much will not work without 50% CDR, but you can get that very easily. Gold Wrap. Now we use a Gold Wrap here because we're also using Boon of the Hoarder. It's a combo because we're killing stuff so fast. It's going to be dropping a lot of gold. This is the only way you're going to be surviving in this build. You're not using anything else that has survivability in this build except for this Gold Wrap and this Boon of the Hoarder. You will not survive without this combo. And because you're picking up all this gold, you're getting a bunch of movement speed and so, you're just going to be running through everything. It's retarded. You're just so fast. And your toughness gets so high. I've gone up to the trillions with how much gold and stuff I picked up with this Gold Wrap. Tal Rasha Chest. Pretty much the Dream Rolls, Int, Vit, Attack Speed, Explosive Blast. Tal Rasha Helm. It's about the same thing. You obviously want 6% crit here though. CDR in the gym. Shoulders. Intelligence. You want Intelligence, CDR, Explosive Blast, and Vitality. That's what you want to go. But you definitely want Intelligence and you definitely want CDR on your shoulders. Those are the most two things that you want. Pretty much the Dream Rolls on this Tal Rasha. Just better crit damage, obviously. Intelligence, crit, CDR. Let's go over the neck. I ran out of mats rerolling this thing. You'd obviously want crit, probably fire skills, maybe. Yeah, I'd do, yeah, crit, fire skills, probably what I'd go here and suck it. But I ran out of materials trying to go for crit chance, because I was trying to get CDR on a ring, and it literally used up like 1,000 mats trying to get that damn thing. Nemesis bracers. Now, because we're using In-goem in the cube, this is like a must. Like, you need to have this. Because you're just going to go up to a shrine, you're going to click it, you're going to kill the pack, your In-goem's going to proc, you're going to be able to span every button that you have on your interface, and you're just going to blow everything up. It doesn't even matter. Everything's going to die. Boom! We're going to use Focus and Restraint. I'm using Focus and Restraint because my Paragon is so low. Like I mentioned before, you can switch these rings out. You could use Royal Ring and an Avarice Band here. Avarice Band is the Act 3 ring that increases your gold and globe pickup radius. Or you could use an Avarice Band and an SOJ. That's probably what I'm going to do when I get higher Paragon. Let's go with an Avarice Band and an SOJ. But because I don't have, my Paragon's pretty low, I'm losing a lot of damage and other crap because of that. Now, Dream Rolls would be crit, CDR like I have here, just better. And crit, CDR here on your Focus and Restraints, what you want. I think that's about it for the gear. Now the gems, Boon of the Hoarder is a must. Train of the Trap is a must because it's the secondary procs to primary. It's a damage multiplier. Pretty much used in every build. For early game, Taeguk's is overpowered because you have so much cooldown reduction. You're going to be able to refresh your Taeguk's because your Explosive Blast has no cooldown. So you're going to be spamming this button so much anyway that it's just going to constantly refresh it. Now, late game, you could trade this out for a Wreath of Lightning because you're going to get more movement speed. That's what I would do. But other than that, you know, when you get higher Paragon, most of you probably will be, you can go with an Avarice Band here, which is what this is. Each time you pick up gold, increase your gold and health pickup radius by 1 for every 10 seconds, stacking to 30 times. It's pretty good. And then an SOJ. I already have one ready. I have an Avarice Band ready too. I haven't tried it yet because I haven't got CDR on my ring yet. And I'd be going under that 50% CDR minimum cap that I was telling you about earlier if I didn't have CDR in this ring. And I need CDR on my source too in order to use these two. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Oh, Also, this little pet, you see this little thing? This little Groot looking dude picks up gold for you. Like, you can be running around, and like in the video before, it just runs around and you see it just run off into the distance and pick up gold. That counts towards that gold wrap toughness that you're getting. So I advise using a pet if you have one. But I mean pets, you go click down here on this little collection thing, or F1. You go to pets, you can use either of these. I'm pretty sure both of these work. But Old Growth is the pet you get from the Season 5 journey. It's pretty easy to do. I think the hardest one was the Dungeon Mastery. And I did it with Firebirds, but you didn't actually have to complete it in order to get the credit for it for some reason. So that was pretty weird. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the gear. Oh, the cube. The cube In-goem is a must. This build will not work without this and the Wand of Woe. This is what the thing I was telling you about. The skull cooldown is reduced by 10 seconds for 15 seconds after killing an elite pack. And then the Warzetchian arm guards. Because we're radiating so many explosions, we're just destroying everything. So every object and stuff, you're going to just have constant movement speed. But if you don't want to use this, you can go with the Hexing Pants of Mr. Yin. Your damage is increased by 25% and resource generation and whatnot, and then you're decreased by 20% while standing still. You're not going to be standing still because you're just running everywhere, radiating so many explosions. You could go with a gold wrap here as well, instead of, and then use maybe like a witching hour or something. But you need to have gold wrap in this build. If you don't have it here, then you need to have it here. If you don't have it here, then you need to have it here. You just need gold wrap to survive with this build. And Royal Ring is a must as well. You need, those are the two key items. You have to have In-goem, have to have Royal Ring in your cube. I mean, you could have them either way. You could have the In-goem equipped and so and so, but no one likes using In-goem. Looks like they look stupid. But yeah, that's about it. Let's go on to the abilities and show you what the abilities look like and stuff. Shock Pulse. This is to trigger your lightning element for your Tau Rashes. Release a single giant orb that oscillates forward, dealing 214% weapon damage as lightning to everything it hits. That is just, it just keeps going. Like, you shoot it forward or whatever direction, and it just keeps going. It's pretty easy. Storm Armor Scramble gives you movement speed by 25% for 3 seconds when you're hit by a melee range attack. Because you're running around so much, you're going to get hit by melee attacks and stuff anyway, so it's free movement speed. Teleport Calamity. This is to proc your Arcane of your Tau Rashes. And because of In-goem, you're also going to have so many teleports too. So you're going to constantly be doing damage and stunning enemies because you're going to be teleporting everywhere around the map. While Explosive Blast is proccing and just killing everything. Sorry, that was my phone. And then Diamond Skin Prism. This is also another thing that you need for this build. Because without this, you wouldn't be able to spam Explosive Blast. Now, because Explosive Blast only costs 20 Arcane Power, you're going to be able to spam Diamond Skin, and it's going to reduce the Arcane Power cost of all skills by 9 while Diamond Skin is active. And you're going to take that 40% damage reduction as an absorption shield. Like, it's a must. Like, you're going to have it constantly up because of the In-goem, excuse me. And then Explosive Blast Chain Reaction. You need this for this build too because it just triggers so many different times. It triggers 3 times. And then the Wand of Woe makes it trigger 3 more times. It's pretty overpowered. It just goes boom, boom, boom. Like, it procs so fast right here anyway. Imagine that, being able to spam that. It's retarded. And the Frost Nova, this also will proc your fire for your Tau Rashes. And then Frost Nova Frozen Mist. This is the only one that does damage. Obviously, if we couldn't go with this, we'd probably go with something like Deep Freeze for more damage, or something else like Cold Snap, or not Cold Snap, but Shatter. But Frost, this one still stuns, and it does damage. So that's why we go with this one here. That procs your 4th element for your Tau Rashes. Audacity, because you're running at the monsters you're not running away, you're going to be within 15 yards of any monster at all times, dealing 30% additional damage. So, boom. Going with that. Illusionist. Sometimes when you click on a pylon or a thing or whatever, you still might not have any buffs or anything, so you could technically just get one shot. But yeah, this could help you, teleport out if you need to. Then you gain more movement speed because of the in-game. You're going to have no cooldown on your teleport. You're just going to be able to teleport everywhere, and that you're going to have the 30% movement speed at all times, basically. Elemental exposure. This basically goes with your Tal Rashas, because you're doing all the elements. You're going to get all this stuff to proc anyway. You're going to be doing tons more damage. And then evocation. It's obvious. Cooldown reduction by 20%. You need cooldown reduction for this build. That's why I go with it. And that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be going over other classes soon. Demon Hunter and Crusader maybe next. And I may be showing some more videos of me pushing Greater Rifts. I'm currently on Greater Rift 73. And I'm struggling a little bit because I don't have very good gear. My compass, I still haven't replaced that god-awful compass rose. Hopefully after I get that compass rose, I could push 73 to 75. But other than that, that is the Flashfire Wizard build. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.